We have a 2007 Dodge Grand Caravan, and we're going to go through the steps to replace the fuel pump. We'll start by bleeding the pressure off the system using our pressure relief valve on our gauge. Be sure and capture the fuel into a safe container. Before beginning the repair, disconnect the negative battery cable. In order to do a proper fuel pump replacement, we need to clean the inside of the tank, and that will require the removal of the tank. At the left rear of the tank, disconnect the fuel vent line and loosen the clamp holding the fuel filler hose. We will remove this as we lower the tank. At the front of the tank, disconnect the emissions line and the fuel line. Keep in mind there may be some residual fuel. Be sure and capture this into a safe container. At the rear of the tank, disconnect the electrical connection, making sure to slide the safety retainer over. With the fuel tank properly supported, remove the tank straps. As we lower the tank, remove the fuel filler hose and work the vent line through the frame. It's a good idea to clean the outside of the tank before removing the module assembly. This will keep any excessive debris from getting in the tank. With the outside of the tank clean, disconnect the electrical connection and the fuel line. Remove the fuel line retainer from the old module assembly and reinstall on the fuel line. Remove the locking ring using a non-ferrous brass punch and turning it counterclockwise. Be sure and inspect the locking ring, making sure it's not damaged in any way that would hinder its reinstallation. As you remove the module assembly, keep in mind that there will be some residual fuel in the reservoir. Be sure and capture this into a safe container. At this point, we need to drain the remaining fuel into a safe container and then clean the inside of the tank. We want to be sure that the tank is as clean as possible to allow a clean environment for the fuel pump. With the inside of the tank thoroughly clean, we're ready to install the new Airtex module assembly. With the new tank seal in place, lower the module into location. Be sure and position the locating tab at the arrow on the tank. With the module fully seated, reinstall the locking ring turning it clockwise, making sure that it's fully seated into location. Reinstall the fuel line and the electrical connection, making sure to slide the safety retainer. As you raise the tank into position, work the fuel vent line through the frame and install the fuel filler hose. With the tank fully raised into position, reinstall the tank straps. Reconnect the vent and tighten the fuel filler hose. At the rear of the tank, reattach the electrical connection. Make sure to slide the safety tab into place. At the front of the tank, reconnect the emissions line and fuel line. With the repair complete, reattach the negative battery cable. Cycle a key 2 to 3 times in order to charge the system. Start the vehicle and monitor the fuel pressure, making sure it's within vehicle specification. Now before we remove our pressure gauge, we'll shut the vehicle off and bleed the pressure using our pressure gauge, making sure to capture any fuel into a safe container.